Thanks for joining us for the Member xCite presentation. The Member xCite presentation is informative, interesting to the audience, and showcases the strengths of the presenter as an entrepreneur and their area of expertise. It's not a sales pitch, it's a 10-minute educational and insightful exploration into what they do. And of course, it's exciting.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our xCite presenter today.
Amber Worth from Ambient IT to present to us on Technology to Save Your Business.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for
Amber Worth.
Ambient IT, we went into business with Ambient IT to help businesses do technology better, to help them be able to do what they do instead of having to focus on how to use the technology, how to fix the technology, all the things that are going wrong with the technology is absolutely constant. But over time, what I do has become very much about protecting businesses. So we still do all the basic IT, all the supply and install, all the fixing, things like that. But a lot of time was spent teaching, training, and showing people how to protect their business. And in this day and age, things have become much more critical to be able to actually have to do that. So you look back, say 20 years, 10 years, even 5 years, and say the majority of threats to a business actually occurred from the inside, from their own people, from either deliberate or accidental theft or removal of information, clicking on links, accidental deletions, deliberate deletions. How do you steal data accidentally? You might accidentally release it somewhere in the world that it shouldn't be, in a spreadsheet to be found on the internet somewhere, whatever it is. These things happen both deliberately and accidentally. And for a long time, the biggest threat to the business was your people and their actions. Interestingly enough, that is actually still true. Even with all the cyber attacks out there, the real threat to your business is the people within your business and the things that they do. So here are a few of the things that you need to be looking for within your business to help prevent those things. How do you enforce secure passwords? What is a secure password? Is it word enough? Is just chucking a couple of extra characters in there? First up, no, it's not. I'll give you a few tips in a second. Second, phishing scams. Those things that people are looking for information about you, your business, or anything like that, which they can use to do things like get you to click on something that you shouldn't click on, enter some information into a web page that you shouldn't enter. Something that can see so many of these where someone can click on a link in an email, which then takes them to a web page that looks exactly like the Westpac Bank or whatever it is they're looking at, and they go, oh, okay, I've got to log in, and then it doesn't go somewhere, and then they give up because they go back to work and they're busy. Well, they've already typed their details into a web page that's been collected by a back-end process something to now use wherever it wants to use. So your online passwords, no matter what vector, no matter what system, whether it's something that needs to be secure or not, should never be the same as any primitive password. Social engineering. Very interesting factor. So many people base passwords on family members' names, their dogs' names. One dog's name, then the other dog's name, and then an exclamation mark on the end. Bad password, okay? All of those things. There's some websites out there that are very, very cool where you can type a password in and it'll tell you how quickly a bot can work out your password. And I put one of my regular passwords that I had on stuff in one of those one day, my own, and it said, hey, well, this will be cracked in 33 seconds. Change that password. Right? If you don't look, you don't know. I had another one which didn't seem that complex to me, and it said it was going to take 4.5 weeks. That was pretty good. But now, I very rarely have a password that can be cracked. I have random, stupid combinations of absolutely unmemorable things. How can you work with that? How can you remember how to log into anywhere if your password is literally 24 random characters of any type? have a password manager. So a password manager program enables you to not have to know any of your passwords, to be able to keep your passwords different on every single thing and every single site. I don't know most of my passwords anymore. I know the passwords from the password manager. Whenever you think of the term password, I want you to think of the term passphrase and then mix it up, or two totally independent words that have got nothing to do with you, your life, your family, your work, your anything. Put them together with some random characters intermixed. But still actually totally random. Alright? So phishing scams, social engineering, and the way this information, a lot of it is done through clicks and links in emails. Websites with a lot of stuff in them. Now, you could have a website, and this guy's I'm sure they're not affected, but just as an example, it might be Robomowers, okay? You might innocently go to the Robomowers website and something in their website does something to you, or runs a process, because unfortunately the website can get hacked, and this too is very, very common. That websites get hacked and have stuff embedded into those websites and they're encrypted. Some of those things are cryptoviruses, which you click on that thing and will encrypt every file on your computer and then ask you to pay a ransom. These things are out there and they're getting worse and worse. From 2000, when everybody went home to work, businesses began to open their systems up and firewalls up so that people get into stuff from home that they previously only needed to get into at work. A massive increase occurred in some threats that have been around for a long, long time. And those threats escalated to a massive extent. We even had some systems of our own affected by cryptoviruses. And there are ways to stop some of those things, but those codes in those particular processes, particularly remote desktop processes, are still there. They're not finished. Nobody's patched them. They're still there. You just have to shut them down and do it in a way now. They're unattacked. Another weird thing that occurs in the attack that occurs, what we see, it's actually quite harmless, not just a nuisance, but it's as a result of people looking to try to hack into systems, is people with print books open to be able to print from external services like servers, social services, and things like that. Overnight, they come in the next morning and they've got this pile of paper in their printer printed out with all these random little characters on it. We call it printer spam. It's actually not. It's actually just people, dodgy people, scanning IP addresses everywhere in the world, scanning across all the various possible ports that might be open, finding one, sending data to it to see if it's a way in there, see if it's a way they can get into your systems. Now, in the case of hitting a printer, the printer gets a command to do something. It goes, put it on paper. Because printers are extraordinarily dumb. So it just puts it on the paper, no harm done other than wasting a bit of ink and 20 or so pages of paper, sometimes worse. We have, interestingly enough, some ways to help businesses solve the problem, what to do solve the problem, and their staff not understanding how to keep themselves safe. We have programs, one through Microsoft, one through another company called Footprint, which we use to help businesses help their staff learn. So it sends out like a little test, and it sends something out, and if someone clicks on the link, it sends the information back to us, and we go, training required. And you get this, and we might send it to a business with, say, 50 employees, and all get the same email, and you'll get 15 click on it, and we can then go, that's the business that your staff need training in how not to do this anymore, because this is a threat to your business. So a lot of the threats to business eventually occur accidentally, or someone doing the wrong thing, but they're targeted at everybody, not just small businesses, not just large businesses. Some of the very large businesses that have been attacked in the past, they've got told 3 times.
Uniting Care Health.
Sorry?
Uniting Care Health.
Uniting Care Health. It got attacked with a crypto, took down absolutely all their systems for a significant amount of time. there are massive amounts of big organisations. One of my favourite from the old days was hearing about a sheriff's department in the US. And of course in the US they say you never concede to the people trying to ransom you. So you never give in to, never pay the ransom. Right? So this sheriff's department got hit with a crypto attack, didn't have sufficient backups, were forced to pay the ransom to get their data back. I'm hoping they've now fixed their backups, but these are just a couple of little ways you can help to protect your business. You can help to train your staff. You can help them understand why you need to be more secure. Password generators, random ridiculous passwords that you can't even remember. These are the best ways to protect your passwords. Ambient IT, spread-based systems, not our fault.
So, questions of Amber.
You know the password software. So you have to know your password to get in, and then you got to.
You do, yes. So,
Can you have it set up so automation that can open it up without having to go?
that would be a good idea. Okay. So, if you have a password generator, a password storage system, and you need a password to get into that becomes the only password you've got to remember. You now make that something quite complex and test it through those things.
And you put it on a post-it and stick it on the screen.
You could do that. It also, the thing is, these tools, if you use the right one, they can read on your computer. You can do password ones. You set it up with two-factor authentication as well. So you can use that to go into. So your password doesn't have to be white scroll because you've got the 2FA on the top. It works on your mobile phone, it works on your tablet, it combines all the stuff, it puts up in somewhere, it appears on all your other devices. You open the thing, you go, I want my whatever account it is, and you press the link, and then it goes and opens the web page automatically without you even having to go and look at the password. This gives you then the ability to share those things with your staff, and you can share those password entities within the password manager with your staff without even actually revealing the password to them. So they can't store it, they can't see it, they don't know.
Password software opens up your software up.
Yes. Yeah, you can use it that way or you don't have to use it that way. Most of the time I actually open the web page because I'm paranoid about opening web pages. And doing that, you can't find the password manager. It's pretty damn stuff. Because it's in there, you're still doing it opening the same way. It's such a habit for me to type a name in because I'd never click on links. I don't know.
So if you have software that actually shuts down after half an hour, you've got to go back into your password software and open it up again.
No, it's still opening.
We've got to remember that password.
With your password manager, you just enter it once in the morning, it'll last the whole day or until the next day.
Zero times out.
Yeah, but it just when it goes back to zero screen, you'll have a little button sitting there, and you just click on it, and it goes, "Do you want to get the password from you?" Yep, we'll open it for you, and off it goes. Or sometimes some web pages you set it up so that your web page will automatically go to, in this case, Keeper, what I'm thinking of, what I use. Goes to Keeper, gets the password, puts it in, and clicks the button to open the web page. One less click for it.
So you mentioned these password manager programs, which you said you use Keeper.
There's a few good ones.
So yeah, what are some good ones that we can?
Keeper.
I use Dashlane.
Yeah,
Sorry?
I use that.
I use Dashlane.
Dashlane's a good one. LastPass, Keeper, Sticky Password, very good. The benefit of the one I use for the type of business that I have is that corporate functionality of multiple people having their own sets, the joint, the common sets, and then to be able to share between them, and being able to extract passwords from other people and remove it if you've shared it with them, and the ability to share them in all these hidden ways within a team properly. When we went to choose the one we were going to use for ours, we all had them. We were all using different ones, and we went, we're going to do this in a more corporate way. We chose that one because we tested that team-based functionality of the majority. If you're working as an individual, any of those other ones are really good. If you're working as a team, Keeper is quite a long way ahead, which is why we chose it.
What's the name of the software you're going to check the password?
I don't think the name of it. Just browse for test password security, I think. There's another one. There's another cool site called Have I Been Pwned? PWNED.com. have I been called? Put your email address in there and it will tell you across all sorts of things that have extracted addresses and things like that, whether or not your email address appears in any of these hatch databases.
Have I been pawned?
P-A-W-N-E-D. Sorry, P-W-N-E-D. Have I...
P-W-N-E-D.
Yeah, have I been PWNED.com.
Oh, right.
The other one, just Google, is my password secure? Something like that. You'll come up with a number of different ways of things that are generating. But yeah, manage your passwords and teach your people how to create secure links. Any other questions?
Cool.